Howdy there, folks. My name's Glenn and this is the Cactus Atlas, and today we're going to be doing a casual exploration of the area around Twin Falls and the Snake River. Previously on our 2025 Northern Tour, we arrived at Massacre Rocks State Park after several days of traveling north. We looked at Register Rock. This here is known as Register Rock. Tried our hand at fishing and pondered life on the Oregon Trail in this area rich with history. This is my first view of the Snake River and the canyon here in the Twin Falls area. Scenic overlook right next to the Perrine Bridge. You could tell that I'm very prepared. You can see our first waterfall of the day. I think we're going to be seeing several if all goes according to plan right across the way. Someone just parachuted off the bridge. I didn't get it on video though. Just look how deep this gorge is here. We're right underneath this bridge. You can hear the traffic above us. So today we're just going to be tooling about Twin Falls, Idaho. I've never been here before. This is part of a whirlwind trip devoted to my other channel, Campvue, and documenting campgrounds. So I didn't do a lot of research, to be honest. I mean, I did a little bit, but not a ton. So we're just going to hang out, basically. So if you've never been here either, we'll experience it for the first time together. We'll kind of have that vibe on this episode. What I want to do is, check out a couple waterfalls and just check out some of the sights here. Shoshone Falls is a big ticket item. I'd like to get eyes on that. And we got a couple other little surprise stops in store along the way. And across the way I see a road that kind of winds itself down. I know I don't know if that's Perrine Falls or not. Across the way, I know that's one of the falls you can hike to. So, and that road looks like it might be a way to get down to river level. So we might go check that out. And we're gonna switch views and come to the other side now. And you can see down as someone fishing on a boat for scale, kind of helps. And another waterfall. It's a little noisy up here on the roadway, but I figure we gotta walk out on the bridge, right? That would be wrong not to. Be even higher up and look down into this deep abyss. We were just down there. Bridges like this give me the neck tingles, I admit. Especially when you can feel the bridge bobbing up and down, which I don't notice yet. Whoa. Getting a little dizzy. Oh yeah. This whole thing's vibrating. Not a fan. Cars speeding by behind me, but the view is worth it. Alright, I can only take so much of cars speeding by behind my back in these dizzying heights. So now back to the truck and let's go seek out some waterfalls. Okay, it's time to become one with traffic now and cross this bridge that we just were underneath. And I'm gonna just wing it. I wanna go see this Perrine Coulee Falls. That's what that is over there. I know there's a trail, parking for a trail somewhere over there, but I also see that road that goes down and there's a park at the bottom, a city park, I think. And we're gonna go. I want to get the drone up in the air in various locations, and you can, but they're with some caveats. You can launch, there's BLM land, there's patches of that around here and other things, but I think Idaho Fish and Wildlife and any kind of like city or public parks, I don't think you're allowed to take off or land within them, according to ChatGPT and my research. But what I thought we'd maybe do is I'd like to get down to river level next. We saw the river from above. It only seems proper to see it now from down below. And there are some locations where we'll get airborne. I was thinking about doing it here at the bridge, but I can't really see what land this is that I was just on. There is no land. It's probably just the city. But I don't know. We'll just play it easy here. I'm just winging it, showing you some of this town while we drive so you can check it out. Pretty much just a lot of commercial businesses and things like that here. So there is the Canyon Rim Trail, which might be good to give us a different perspective. We're on the other side now from where we were, but I'd really like to go figure out how the heck you get down to the bottom. I'll have to figure that out. Let's just go see this. There's a visitor center here. Maybe it's open and maybe I can get some information. And there's Mo Betta's Hawaiian style food. Mo Betta's. I like that. All right, so I'm at the visitor center. We'll go check it out in a second. There's a rim trail here, which I assume stays on the top. But here's an interesting map that I want to check out. 4 miles east of here, I think, is going to be a very amazing site, the Shoshone Falls. I've heard it referred to as the Niagara Falls of the West. There's a little still photo of it. So I'm hoping to go into the visitor center and kind of learn where to go for these various stops. And another spectacular view from up high, this time from the other side. We can actually see further down into the canyon looking this way. Man, that's amazing. They even have a golf course down there. This is a great little spot too, on the other side of the bridge now. You can actually see across the way over there. We were underneath the bridge on the other side when we started. Now I'm gonna go on this side. This is quite a view. I think this is where these people are jumping off the bridge that I saw. They're folding up their parachutes. We'll cross over to this other side. See if we can get some good views over here. Lots of scenic overlooks around this bridge. That'd be fun to rent bikes or something. Electric bikes, just do a leisurely pedaling around the rim trail. All right, right, now we're under the bridge on the other side. I think I like the view better looking the other way than over here, but I bet you that overlook over there is pretty spectacular. So what I think I'm gonna do, let's walk over there, then we'll catch a look at the bridge looking back this way, and then we'll head to our next location. I'm gonna be honest, I've always kind of just written off Idaho. Like, I think of Napoleon Dynamite and movies like that. I'm very, very ignorant, by the way, about it. Now that I'm here, this might be one of my favorite states, actually, one of my new favorite states. Maybe even top 3 potential. Not willing to say that just yet, but I mean, with stuff like this is amazing. And all of the forests and mountains and history here, it's rich. And I just think I haven't paid attention, but I'm here now. So we're correcting that blunder. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Me no likey. Huh. You know, it's not too bad. When there's like a layer right down there, it kind of breaks up the vertigo a little bit, but man. And we'll look back this way now to see our bridge. What a fantastic view. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, folks. I know somewhere down this a ways on this side we saw another waterfall. I don't know which waterfall it is, what its name is. It was kind of small and dinky compared to what I think we're gonna see. So we're not gonna seek it out, but I know that's somewhere right around there on the other side. But yeah, you don't get as many deep views into the canyon facing this way, do you? Still spectacular, but now I wanna get down in there in my kayak. I don't know how we've missed this one. And the things to come today, hopefully. All goes according to plan. We see the bridge from this perspective, it just looks so fragile, doesn't it? Like it could just snap in two, but it's solid. On the way back, I saw this really beautiful sculpture on the way in, and there's really no sign, I think, denoting what it is. I wonder if the theme is like, maybe that has something to do with the twins of Twin Falls. Maybe they represent Twin Falls. There's 2 what appear to be like maybe sisters, you know, dancing out of water is what my interpretation of that is. We'll get closer and you guys can comment below and let me know if you know, or just let us know what your interpretation is. It's like I see a jet of water shooting up with these little goddesses, sisters, frolicking in it, spinning around. It's a beautiful sculpture, though. I'm gonna finish up our gas station cappuccino again. It's the same machine. I had one of these the other day at a gas station. I rarely get coffee at gas stations, but I was quite impressed with it. And then I saw they had the same brand, the same machine, and decided to try another flavor. I don't know what the brand is, I didn't make note, but it is good. It's consistent so far. Next time I get it, if I see it, I'll have to make note of the brand to tell you guys what it is. So I tried a different flavor today. I did a French vanilla last time, and this is white chocolate caramel. All right, let's try the visitor center. Open 8 to 6, except for Sunday. Historic Perrine Stagecoach. So if you go in there, they have like directions for surrounding waterfalls, including Perrine Coulee. So there's a place called Centennial Park down below. Plot a route to it, and I think that's going to be our best bet for seeing that from river level. So that's going to be the first thing we do here this morning. Well, not the first thing, the first fall, I guess, the first official waterfall up close, hopefully. Maybe I won't be able to find parking, I don't know. Okay, I have a route plotted. So this basically gives you directions to 3 falls. Perrine Coulee, so she pronounced it Perrine, so that would answer the question about how to pronounce the bridge and stuff. Perrine Coulee Falls, and then it has directions to Shoshone Falls, and it also has directions to Twin Falls. I don't know if we're gonna go seek out Twin Falls today. I'm thinking it's like it says that used to have Twin Falls, where the name of the town got its name, but the brochure says something about how now for hydroelectric purposes. I don't know if something changed or it's seasonal, but I don't know how good that one actually is. And I've got other stops in mind too that I haven't told you about yet. I'm gonna save something for a little bit of a surprise. It's probably more for me than it is for you. But now we will navigate this maze of food like Mo Bettas and Swig.
500 feet at the traffic circle. Take the first exit onto Fillmore Street.
There you go. Fillmore Street. That's what the brochure says, the traffic circle. So we will do that right now. Alright, I think it's like to get there, you just go through all of these parking lots basically. Not even kidding.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto North 3000 East Road, Blue Lakes Boulevard North.
So my hunch was right. I figured there was an access point down this ways without the map or Google Maps, but I was correct. So if you're looking for the Perrine Coulee Falls, just look for Mo Bettas and a ton of other businesses. This place is stocked on restaurants and businesses, I tell you what.
Turn right onto North 3000 East Road, Blue Lakes Boulevard North.
Okay. I'll document our drive through Twin Falls here in the back streets. Yeah, so far my impression of this town is it's very clean, well manicured, at least this area. It's probably because it's a big tourist area, probably some money here, I'm guessing. But really nice homes. Everybody's yards look lush. Any yard looks lush to me coming from Phoenix, where we just have rock for our yards. What they call zero landscaping. But anywho, here we go. I think we're about to descend into the abyss. Man, it's like this whole floor down here is just one giant golf course apparently. George Carlin would not be proud. And not for those of you familiar with George Carlin and his skit about golf courses. I used to play a little bit of golf. Not great, just for fun with coworkers and stuff. I enjoyed it. I suck, but I haven't in years. But I find it relaxing. So the neat thing about this waterfall, Perrine Coulee, apparently, is if we can find parking and everything goes according to plan, you can actually walk behind the waterfall. So as long as I don't get wet, we'll be good. Is it here? Oh, neat. So I don't know if this is how you access it, but there's part of the Perrine Coulee Falls. We'll kind of come down this way. I think what I might want to do, we can scout from up here. Oh yeah, see there's a trail. So we want to park down there somewhere. I see some pullouts, and then you'd have to walk up the trail. And I see people, and then we can go behind the falls. Yeah, I think that's definitely in order. It'd be a little hike. I could use the exercise, of course. But let's go check this thing out from down below. And there's the bridge, the Perrine Bridge. The Freaky Bridge is what I'm gonna call it. Anyway, sorry, I forgot the music was playing. I'm kind of just excited. But it is a bit overcast today. I was not expecting that, but I'm liking it because it's been hot and sunny everywhere I've gone, so getting some reprieve from the sun has been really nice. So there's Centennial Water Park front, but that's not where our waterfall actually is, but it could be a place to park, I guess, if you want to walk. Unless I see no parking signs down here, I assume it's fair game. We'll find out. We got to, it's helpful to scout from above. Here's a option, I would say. And I'm trying to keep an eye out. I think it's in this little inset area down here. No, it's hard to see it from down here where to go, actually, where the trail is. But I don't feel in a hurry because, oh, it's right here. It's not too busy. I'm gonna try, okay, there's some parking. There's lots of parking, actually. Although it's right on the golf course, so I don't know if I trust that. I'm gonna turn around here and snag one of these little dirt spots. I mean, there's no sign saying no parking, so I would be very disappointed if I got a parking ticket or something. And I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest, that there's like barely anybody out. It's a Saturday, so I thought, oh my God, this is gonna be a madhouse. I'm gonna regret it. And I left about an hour later than I was going to. Like, I left my campsite, I think, around 7 a.m. instead of 6, because I wanted to beat the crowds and beat the heat. But I'm finding that neither matter, really. All right, I guess this is where we're gonna park. I don't know. I think the trail is right here also. All right, we're at the base of Perrine Coulee Falls. It looks like it's flowing nicely to me. Let's go seek the backside of water. All right, so this is not the trail, but it's a good viewpoint and a little parking spot for you if you're looking for one. If I get towed or a ticket, I'm gonna be mad. What the heck? I know I saw a trail clear as day from up above, but there's no way to get there from here. My guess, I think I might actually see like a level area. I wonder if it's up here where you gotta park. Why don't I move the truck and we'll try that, because I figured the trail would be right here, but it's not. I've tried 3 different points and there is no trail. I should have paid better attention. We were up there surveying earlier. All right, I'm pretty sure we found it finally. Man, that was a pain in the butt. You could have signs for as good of a job they do with everything else, unless they're trying to keep people out. But it's pretty well advertised. You can walk behind the falls. So, whew, I made pretty short work of the trail. It's not too bad so far. Watch, I went the wrong way or something. Let's scout. See, I thought you'd go from down there, but I see why you can't now. So this has got to be the only way. I don't know any other possibility. Oh, look at that. Oh, you know what? I parked right up there. I think I literally could have just walked down. I didn't see that. Anyway, here we are. Almost behind the falls. For all the Disney vloggers and Disney fans that know what the backside of water is, I found the true backside of water, not that fake thing. Woo! When the wind changes, you get in the the mist. Woo! My camera's getting a bath here. I should be careful. Trying to get back up in here. I don't think any place is safe, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna abort this mission to spare my camera here. It feels wonderful though. It's starting to get warm out, and hiking up there and getting this refreshing spritz in the face is just what the doctor ordered. All right, say goodbye to the Perrine Coulee Falls. It's time to go seek out the next scenic wonder here in Twin Falls, Idaho. Woo! All right, that was wonderful. That actually was much cooler than I thought in more ways than one. It was a nice mist. I'm a little damp still, but not terribly. My camera's fine. But that waterfall has a lot more force when you're up close to it than you would ever think.
Canyon Springs Road for 1.5 miles.
I heard her the first time. So now we're going to maybe one of the top 2 things that I want to see, and it's not a waterfall, it's not a scenic wonder. A couple of you have already guessed what it is. But let me get to the top of this canyon and get kind of back on the main road, and then I'll describe what we're doing next. It's about 15 minutes away. But it's gonna be awesome. All right, I kept some of you in suspense long enough, I think. So what we're gonna be doing now is we're heading to the Evel Knievel Snake River Canyon jump site, where he attempted to jump the Snake River. I wanna say it was in 1974, the year I was born, in his steam-powered rocket. And the whole event, I think, was, I mean, for the younger generations that, you know, probably millennials on, I don't know how much you know about Evel Knievel, but he was a big deal. A big, big deal when I was growing up. In fact, I think most young boys, like, that was the pinnacle of cool, the pinnacle of awesome. And I certainly have memories of thinking of the same thing, and certainly there was a specific toy that got released of him on his motorcycle where there's like that toothed strip, I think, and you pull it through and you could make the bike jump and do tricks. I got the knockoff version, I think. I don't think I got the real deal. I wasn't a cool kid. But essentially, Evel Knievel was really a big deal back then. There's a really good documentary. It was recently, I think it's still on Amazon Prime, about Evel Knievel and his life. So I didn't really know all of the bad things that went with Evel Knievel. So we're gonna celebrate the cool part. But yes, I mean, he was known to be not a very nice guy. We'll just say not very faithful to his wife. Into drugs and alcohol, I think, and violence. Beat a guy with a baseball bat at one point. Almost seems kind of like he has narcissistic traits. But
in 1,000 feet, turn right onto US 93 South.
So I know there'll be some of you that want to roll your eyes at that, but look at it through the context of, you know, when you're a kid, you don't know about those things, you know, and people like that are a hero. And if you think about, just like the documentary, it has like Johnny Knoxville in it and stuff, you know, people that, like, modern stuntmen, and, you know, and a lot of like BMX bikers, things like that. you know, he was in skaters and extreme sports. Like, he was the originator of all that stuff.
US 93 south, then turn left onto East 4100
if you're
north.
into that, then you have to give Evel Knievel all the credit in the world. He was the original, the OG, when it came to that kind of thing. So, you know, focusing on the positive. Yes, like I was surprised to learn just how mean of a man he actually was, but and later in life, I think near death, like, he apologized to people and stuff and probably mellowed out, but you know. So what we're seeing though, as I drive over there, I'll talk about it a little bit, and hopefully I'm saying it correctly, but I want to say 1974 was the attempted jump, and before that he was on like ABC's Wild World of Sports.
My name is Evel Knievel. I'm a professional daredevil.
And it was, I think, had like some of the highest views of the time on that. And typically what he was known for at that point was doing insane jumps on his motorcycle, like jumping semi-trucks and buses and stuff like that. And many times
for 2 miles.
he crashed, and he crashed hard. And I don't know how many bones the guy broke. Maybe that explains why he had a kind of a grumpy side. He put his life at risk all the time, and he knew it, you know? And it sounds like he was pretty somber about things right before he attempted these jumps. So, I mean, it's real. There was no safety nets, nothing, and you see him crash all the time. So I gotta tip my hat to that, I guess, kind of bravery. You know, someone that wouldn't back down from that. I mean, if you're gonna choose, I guess, I don't know, I'm not really into machismo, to be honest with you. I think it's annoying, you know, and stupid half the time, but you kind of gotta have some of that to be able to do what he does. And I would say, if you're gonna be Evel Knievel or a stuntman, you have to. Like, you have to be a badass to do that. And I mean, it's a job. You know, he did very well financially from it. So normally not the type of personality that I would look up to or anything like that. Not saying I look up to him in my older age, but as a kid, yeah, that was the thing. That was really the thing for the kids of the 70s, like me. Some of us Gen Xers out there. It's gonna be hard for you to see it on this camera, but I see the mound, the dirt launching ramp. So, and if you could rewind the clock to back in 1974, the hullabaloo, the camera crews, the marching bands, the Hells Angels that were hired for security, the bad things that actually happened here in the days leading up to it. Lots of drinking, lots of rowdiness. That, like they said in the show, like, even you could hear people getting raped at night. It's horrible. Like, that, I'm not down with. That's really uncool. Not cool, but it was just really a rough bunch, I think, that was hanging out here. But here it is. Whoa. You know, you'd think I would have the same amazement. You know, we were looking at waterfalls and stuff, and it does amaze, but I'm kind of getting really excited about this. You should be able to see it now in view. Wow.
In 800 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Evel Knievel jump site, and yes, I'm gonna walk right up to the top of that thing unless they say I can't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the vortex of the 1970s, the Evel Knievel jump site. I don't know, we could probably show some pictures here of what it looked like with a rocket on it. I don't know, we may even show some footage, we'll have to look into it, of the jump, but here is the thing where he would have been at one point sitting in this tin, probably not tin, this metal rocket. Probably, honestly, I bet he thought he was gonna die.
None of us are going to get out of here alive. If Mother Nature don't get you, Father Time will.
And that might be part of the controversy with it. One thing the documentary talked about is how right when he launched, he deployed the parachute. And people thought that it was talked about as a mechanical failure. but the team that put it together didn't want a bad name. So somebody said that they thought he deployed the parachute like right away, basically to abort and not complete it. And then what happens is he plummets to the bottom of the canyon. The parachute deploys, thankfully, and he's down at the bottom. And for a short time, people thought he was dead. Oh wow, look, that's the concrete foundation, I think, for that probably had the ramp that the rocket sat on right here. Oh, I'm getting nervous just trying to empathize and put myself in the mind of somebody aiming at the sky like this. And wait till you see this. He wanted to jump this canyon all the way across. Oh, there's a walking path down there too. And would you guys do that? I think it's a mile across or something from this point. Absolute insanity, but cool. Wow, you can almost hear the crowds and probably the gasps and concerns when he launched and the chute deployed and he went down into the canyon. So what happened? Well, eventually the cameras panned over and he is on the bottom waving, if I remember correctly. And absolute insanity. I think he was generally okay. I don't even know, not really quite sure if he broke a lot of bones or what he did. I think he probably did. But he came out, I would say, relatively unscathed for what this was. My goodness. I can't believe I'm actually standing on this thing. You know, seeing with my own eyes now the Snake River Canyon and the thing that Evel Knievel wanted to jump over in a steam-powered rocket. He originally wanted to jump the Grand Canyon, and that's my neck of the woods. I think that was a little cuckoo, because if you know the Grand Canyon, this is gigantic, but nothing compared to the width of the Grand Canyon. I don't know how you'd do that, but and I think trying to rescue somebody from down in the Grand Canyon would be a much different endeavor than this. Not saying this is easy, but you had boats and stuff waiting for him in the river down below. The Grand Canyon is this big kind of like staircased thing that just goes on for many miles across. So that would have been, he didn't get a permit, so they wouldn't let him do it. Probably rightfully so, but. So for context too, you can actually see our bridge, our starting point for today's journey, way off in the distance now. So it's about 4 miles from that visitor center, something like that. And there's the man there. So you can actually see that's what it looked like mounted. And there's the parachute after it was deployed. And that's him. Very recognizable celebrity for me in my generation. So love him or hate him, you got to admit, you got to have some big cojones to try something like that. I mean, I don't know many people that would. And I was actually thinking just now that I'm here seeing it, growing up in my generation too, we grew up with shows like Jackass or, you know, like snowboarding, big wave surfing, any kind of extreme sport you can think of. And I'm having a hard time thinking how this guy's still not the king. What those people do is amazing, and death stares them in the face every day, but this, I mean, come on. I don't know if anybody's outdone this one yet. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. And please know, I'm not trying to disrespect any type of sport or anything, but I mean, getting in a hunk of metal powered by steam to jump a canyon like this, when you know how deep this thing is, I mean, I don't know if anybody's done anything quite like that ever since. On that scale, I don't know if it would be permitted today. All right, I have one more stop. I think the next stop, it's hard to compete with this for me, but I think the next stop, I think I actually got a glimpse of it when I was airborne. You could actually see what I think were Shoshone Falls, maybe the pinnacle of all the waterfalls around here, known as the Niagara Falls of the West due to its immense size. I want to say it's even higher than Niagara Falls. And I know that it flows differently at different times of the year, but from what I could see from the air, it looks like a heavy flow to me. Like if that's a low flow, I don't even know what it would be like in the spring or something like that after snow melts and stuff. But I think that Shoshone Falls, to be fair, is probably what I look forward to the most, even more than Evel Knievel, I know. But I wasn't expecting to enjoy that as much. It was really that moment of just getting that drone up that ramp and then seeing the view. I can't wait to review the footage later. Hopefully it came out okay, but seeing the view shift looking down that canyon just gave me the shivers. And we're pretty close now, like about a mile away from what I'm hoping is a good view, and I just wanted to start rolling in case we catch it in our view soon. I imagine we will soon, although I don't see any falls just yet. We're probably kind of on top of them if I had to guess. I can actually see river up high and then down low. Oh, I think I just caught my first glimpse of them. All right, we have paid admission, $5. And a little bit of a windy drive
Slide
down.
left onto North 3300
I don't think
East,
I need
Campvue
you
Road.
anymore. We don't need you anymore. Shoshone Falls to the left, and then Durkis Lake. I don't know anything about the lake, so we're not going to be checking that out today, I don't think. We're here for the main attraction, and oh my gosh, I think I just caught another glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye, and it looks spectacular. There's a small waterfall, Shoshone Light. Shoshone Light. It drains into a little pond down there. I'm telling you, this is the land of many waterfalls. And here we are. I think there's plenty of parking actually, so it's not like Yosemite National Park or something like that, where we're gonna have to wait and wait and wait. So once again, Idaho Falls does really well, at least today. Light on the people factor. All right, we made it. There's more parking further down. I think I would have been better off going further down, because I think to get the good views, you need to walk down this ways. I'm just gonna give you a little tease as we walk, but you really can't see the full thing. But you can hear it, that's for sure. We'll do our first view together. I haven't seen the full thing yet, to be honest. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. I imagine when it flows more, now that we're here, I bet you it spills over this whole thing. But still, that's pretty fantastic. I heard a guy talking about the falls when I was down there, and he was saying that, like, when I was surmising that when there's more flow, I think you'll see more fall, like on this side. So you're kind of just seeing part of the Majesty today, but it really is spectacular. And with that all said, I think this is the time where we gotta part ways. I gotta go back to Massacre Rocks State Park, finish up a video there, spending the night there again tonight, and then tomorrow I hit the road again to continue my epic road trip adventure, my Campvue Northern Tour. Thanks for joining us on this one. I hope you enjoyed exploring Twin Falls, Idaho with me. I had a blast. Thanks for joining, and see you on the next one.